won Super Bowl 59.
Dude, it gave me goosebumps watching it.
Rivian pulled up to the stadium with the snow tires on, the tinted windows. Many men came on, and it was just a murder.
This guy wins. Look at his record. Look at his stats. Thank God he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
You can mark this down. I think the Eagles are hosting the NFC Championship game.
I don't care how it looks at this point, as long as it's a win.
Vaughn came up with it.
Oh, Bond's an
Vaughn, that guy's playing at an all-pro level.
I mean, you could have heard that from a mile, dude. That stadium was loud.
Lock in, Bruce. Another Speaking Birds. What is up, my Bruce? My bird. Bruce, we are back. It's another Speaking Birds. It's your boy Speaks here. I'm joined with the boy John. What's up, man?
What we doing? Good to be here.
Oh, man, the dust has settled. The dust has settled. I know we've chatted a little bit about it, but man, I can't get over just how winnable that game was. I mean, it was right there. I mean, and look, I don't think, I'm not crazy enough to think that we go on this huge Super Bowl run. But who knows? I mean, look, I think, Ben Johnson would have had his way with us, I think, the following week, because that defense was playing scared. But man, that game was right there. How have you been post loss?
I mean, the more I just watch about it, the more funnier it is to me, because it's just a fucking joke. Like any Philadelphia Eagle fan that thought that team was going to go on and do something is delusional at best, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think I try to convince myself that maybe we could have went on a run, but it just wasn't there. The whole season you're just kidding yourself. Like, you know, you want to be in a place where it's, you're waiting for the offense to find itself, and it's it's like week 14, we're still waiting. And then you think that, magically, I thought maybe Jalen Hurts was going to go in the phone booth and come out with his cape on, and, we'd see, the postseason Jalen Hurts that we've had glimpses of in the past. But I don't know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You got to be delusional to think, that they were going to do anything. But man, that game, even just winning that game.
Yeah, you lose to a bunch of backups. It's pretty crazy. But like, you're winning games and you're not even scoring 20 points. It's just delusion. So,
yeah. All right. Well, the big news, which we wanted to hop on here and address. Kevin Patullo fired as offensive coordinator. So finally happened. The writing was on the wall. Man, it was. And I think, and I've gone on right. He's somewhat of a fall guy, I feel like, in this situation. And trust me, this isn't, by no means am I trying to advocate that he should have been fired or he should be here. But look, this offense has Nick Sirianni's fingerprints all over it. You can go back and forth on what you think about Jalen, his capabilities. But look, he had to go. I mean, he had to.
Yeah, they got to fire somebody for sure, and they're not going to try to fire Nick Sirianni after he was at the Super Bowl last year, and he's been to the playoffs 5 years straight or whatever it was.
5 years, yep.
It's like there's three people there that seem like they have no fucking clue about football, and it's Sirianni, Hurts, and fucking Patullo. When you look at these last drives and when you see what's going on out there, it's just it's insane. And whether or not they have the right play call in or not, Jalen should be smart enough to check out of some of this shit as well. So I'm going to give some of the blame to him, even that I don't think he's the reason we lost the game. But like when you got two verticals and two skinny posts on and they're in quarters D, and nobody's underneath to pull any linebacker that's in zone, you got to fucking check out of that and try to find something else, you know what I mean? But I guess maybe his whole deal was he had to stay with that play. I don't know what the coaches are telling him, obviously, but it's just fucking insane to me.
Right. You see where before the final play, there's a shot of them all on the sidelines. I mean, there's three pairs of dead eyes just looking at
insane.
each other. It's like, what? Like, you should have something in your pocket for that situation. I mean, like, call me crazy, but right, should have something dialed up that you guys all feel confident in. Like, I mean, that should be installed in training camp. Hey, season on the line, game on the line. Here's what we're doing. 4th and 10, 4th and 11, whatever the case may be. They're just looking at each other.
We need a first down. We don't need two guys in the end zone and two guys on skinny posts up the middle. You just need a fucking first down.
Yeah. Well, he's gone. I think
get him out.
Get him. Well, and so there's reports now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how much validity there is to this, but there are reports that he has been fired as the offensive coordinator, but he might be back at the Eagles in some capacity, maybe his old role. I just don't see how that. I mean, you get fired from your employer. I don't.
Here's
see
the
how
thing
you
for
go
me,
back.
like. You hear all these rumors in the media. It's Nick Sirianni can't call games. It's Kevin Patullo can't call fucking games. It's Hurts can't run exotic schemes. It's like somebody just fucking step up and say what the fuck it is so we can address it and fucking move on from it. You know what I mean? Like fix the problem.
Right.
Why do we have to live in fucking fantasy land all the time and like fucking listen to these fucking rumors? Let's, and if it's all three, then, obviously you got to change fucking, multiple things. So.
Right. Well, yeah, you bring up a good point. Howie and Laurie should have. Okay, so obviously, you want Sirianni in on these sort of conversations, but if he's part of the problem, if he's part of that three-headed problem monster, you kind of got to keep him out. So behind closed doors, Roseman and Laurie should have a good idea of what exactly is going wrong. Correct?
Yeah, you would think so. And I think they're going to address it right here with this offensive coordinator signing. Obviously, they know Sirianni and a guy that cannot call, Sirianni and a guy that has never called plays at any level is not going to be the choice. Sirianni's had two chances here with Brian Johnson and Kevin Patullo, and it's clear that he can't make the decision. And, the general manager and the owner need to make the decision and bring in an offensive mind that, if it's trying to fit Jalen Hurts to a scheme, maybe that's not the greatest thing. Bringing an offensive coordinator that can just make him better. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to place him into a scheme that maybe he's not best for.
Yeah, well, going into the season with this new coordinator, I had really tried to hammer this home. I mean, at this point, wouldn't you think that Sirianni and Hurts collectively together over 5 years have just like a book, like a plan and offense that they know, like they're the through lines here. And they're the ones with the biggest say. You would think that they would have a system, have something. They would know what Hurts can and cannot do. What he's comfortable with doing, what is successful. I mean, like up until the playoffs, he was barely even running the ball. Let's face it, he's not the best arm out there. So that has to be part of his game. And if you risk injury, then you risk injury, but it has to be part of your game. And they just went away from it. I mean,
to risk injury, it's crazy. You're in the fucking playoffs, dude. You have to win the game. So,
yeah,
you can't play the game scared to risk anything because of injury. If that's the case, you shouldn't be out there at all. You know what I mean? You shouldn't even field a team if we're scared to fucking get guys injured.
Yeah, I agree. And look, there's tons of throughout the season, tons of Patullo hate, which was warranted. Tons of fire Patullo chants. Look, his family home got egged. But I think before we completely move on, this guy was there the last 5 years. Now, whether that's good or bad, he was part of the two Super Bowl teams, and he was part of the Super Bowl win. I'm not trying to extend where they got like an olive branch to him. I'm just saying, he's gone for now. We can rid ourselves of him, but we got to keep in mind, he was there. This is something I heard too. I forget who, maybe Orlovsky said this, but like you said, there's tons of rumors. No one really knows what is the hang up here. But the thought that they can't get, the best out of Hurts, he kind of made the point, like, look, they did, he played, he was the best player in 2 Super Bowls. If you look at his win-loss record with Sirianni, it's there. So, he's like, is it Hurts? Like, I don't know.
That's what I said earlier. That's one of the things I said earlier this year when you were saying, get rid of Patullo. And I don't know if I said this on the pod or I
think you did.
Just in general. But I think, you got the big names out there, Dable and McDaniel, but I think the best thing for Jalen is to probably get an offensive coordinator, a proven one that was actually a quarterback.
Okay.
That way,
Okay.
the guy can actually help him progress.
Okay. Well, look, let's rattle off some names here. Here's some names that are floating around, and we'll start with this. There is a Mike Kafka.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Mike Kafka, former quarterback?
I mean, I know he's done some time with Mahomes. Obviously, he was a former quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I haven't watched enough Mike Kafka coaching wise to be sold. Like I was, yeah.
And if you're under,
I'm not sure.
Andy Reid,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you're under Andy Reid too, it's kind of hard to tell. Like,
right,
how much is your influence versus Andy Reid? Well, I'm gonna
because
list off
Andy's calling it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got Todd Monken, we got McDaniel, Stefanski, Mike LaFleur, Arthur Smith. Let's see here. Brian Dable, Cliff Kingsbury might be an interesting name to watch.
Yep.
I said Mike Kafka.
You said Mike LaFleur, but you meant Dable, right? Or not Dable, McDaniel.
Well, I think Mike LaFleur is out there. Is he not?
Really? Maybe.
Not. See. Maybe not. Well, let's see here too. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's up for head coaching. That's my fault. Good catch. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. And then we got Frank Reich, and then somebody threw out the name Dougie P. So that's just kind of like a list. And I listed off. Shout out to Dave and Rube. They kind of helped me form this list.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was I was kind of calling for McDaniel, and then you said he might not be the best fit.
Well, I just know the stuff he did down there with what the hell's his name? The Hawaiian quarterback. Tua. I just know a lot of his stuff was like quick read, throw anticipation, get through the progression, and that ain't necessarily Jalen Hurts's forte. Now, can he learn to do that and progress through that? Sure, but obviously what we've been seeing in the past couple of years, he's not quick reading anything. He stares one guy down, he throws it. He's not getting through progressions. Like Tua is one of the fastest quarterbacks to get rid of the ball, in the NFL.
Right.
So whether that's is Mike McDaniel not the answer? I'm not saying that. I just don't know because I just know what he does with what he's done with Tua. So
yeah, no, I agree. And here's a tweet by I hate to even say short ESP. So Mike McDaniel as OC would be a big change for Hurts. So check this out. Percentage of Tua throws over intermediate center. 2022, 23%, 2023, 17%, 2024, 14%, and 25, 14%. Hurts has never been above 7.1 in his career.
Oh my God.
And then here's another stat. Tua has 367 attempts from under center in his career. Hurts 103. So yeah, I mean, to your point, yeah, I mean that would be like it would be widely different from what McDaniel likes to do versus what Hurts likes to do,
Sure. They also have a guy in Tyreek Hill who's open almost right away. You know what I mean? So you got a guy if AJ's still around, he can't get separation. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say if only we had a top 10 type receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's see. So McDaniel, I think he's on the head coaching circuit. I think Stefanski's on the head coaching circuit. Obviously Dable was with Hurts in Alabama and had a pretty good season with him. So there's familiarity there, but it's Brian Dable. I don't know.
That's the one they seem like they're really hyping up as far as like analyst, I would say.
Could you imagine Dable, head Dable and Sirianni on the same?
Well, that's kind of one thing I kind of liked. Dable's kind of like a Vic Fangio style. He's just going to tell you how it is. You know what I mean? And maybe we need that.
I think we do. Yeah, you're right, man. Like enough of this, like inmates running the prison. And I like a nice player led team, but you gotta have a hard hand. You gotta have someone that can come in and tell, like, I don't know.
Tell you your faults, because you only get better by learning your weaknesses.
Yeah, and it seems like maybe Hurts is, with the success, maybe eclipsed being able to be coached. I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, Frank Reich, like, are we gonna dip into the past on this one?
I mean,
Yes, we could.
again, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? He's going to make Jalen better. And same with Doug Peterson. You know what I mean? Doug Peterson's a guy that's just going to throw heavy, like very, very heavy throw style offense. So, Jalen's going to have to be pretty on point.
Yeah, I mean, like, is this even still an attractive landing site for a potential offensive?
Potentially not. Yeah. But
I
when
mean,
you
you have
lose
so
your
much
head coach
turmoil.
job, there's only so many offensive coordinator jobs. So got to find
true.
something.
That's true. Yeah. And I don't have the answer to this, but like maybe getting like and I don't think this is the answer, but like an innovative college mind, a young
Right.
college mind. But no, I think like you're right. I mean, we need that like Fangio style. We can't roll the dice too much on this, because if this one fails, then it's going to be pretty ugly.
I think another guy, I mean, you said it earlier, but another good one might be Wisniewski. You know what I mean? I don't know that he gets another head coaching job, but I do know that he's, a pretty run balanced offense, and if that's what they're trying to do with Saquon and actually run the ball, he might not be the the worst hire there either. So
You mean Stefanski?
Stefanski, yeah. What I say?
Yeah,
Wisniewski? Yeah, sorry.
Wisniewski,
Stefanski.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know what I
that's
was saying there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he might get some head coaching looks. I think he's interviewing. But yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but they should act quick. They
Sure.
shouldn't. They
Sooner the better, so you can get it installed. I know it's the off season, but
they didn't wait to fire Patullo. And look, I mean, if you take a step back and really look at it, would you rather lose in like the NFC Championship game where you're gonna fire your OC and have the droppings, have the leftovers, or would you rather get bounced early and be able to get a crack at some of these guys? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, for sure. But hypothetically, obviously, yeah, you would want to get the crack at the guys. But again, this team wasn't making an NFC Championship game. I just can't see it or believe it.
Pathetic. You see, you see that shot. I think they said it was the final shot in Hard Knocks. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just Sirianni and Hurts standing in the auditorium, and Hurts is like,
Yeah,
we'll be back. We'll be back. And Sirianni's like, I have no doubt. Well, you were there. You were there. I mean, I don't care about being back. Like,
I kind of believe it.
I know, but it's like, it's just like it's like cowardice, in my opinion.
Catty,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, you were there. So what was wrong?
Grasp the moment.
You got the highest paid offense in the league. I mean, well, that's another question too. Hurts is going to be up for. He's never even gotten that Super Bowl payday. Little bump. So he's going to want.
I think
cash.
He's got 2 years.
Yeah, but he's going to want some cash. Not this offseason, next offseason.
A lot of free agents too. Tons of free agents.
It's going to look different. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of sad to say, but maybe the last rodeo with some of these guys, some of these young guys too. We might not see Dean. Dean may be gone. Going to be gone. He's gonna want some cash. Got to pay the young guys what you can.
Here we go. I got the list up while we're at it. Goddard,
nice.
Reed Blankenship, Jalen Phillips, Aziz Ojolari, Jahan Dotson, Brandon Graham, the punter, Braden Mann, sorry, Josh Uche, Kylan Granson, Matt Pryor, Fred Johnson, AJ Dillon, N'Kobe Dean, Ogbania, whatever the
I know what you
defensive
mean.
end
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
was from Cleveland. Yeah, Brett Toth, Van Sumeren is a restricted free agent, and then Sam Howell and Calcaterra. So basically, every single tight end we have
Yeah.
is a free agent. Which they
And-
can all,
and
I mean, besides Goddard, they can all go for me. So
Right. I think Pitts is a free agent. He'll be the bag winner of the offseason
yeah,
in terms of tight
for
ends.
sure.
So yeah, man, a lot of those guys, in my opinion, can get the pink slip. Like Dotson. Like I
Yep.
don't need to see it back, Dotson.
Well, if you lose AJ, I don't know if Dotson moving off of Dotson's the move, but I don't know that he'd want to be back anyways. So
Yeah, I think you got to still build. Well, I mean, he's got some trust with Hurts, so that's not for nothing.
you know the man can just run miles,
Yeah, he's just out there running.
cardio all day long.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know, that Reed situation is going to be interesting as well. I think he lost a couple. I think he lost some
Yep.
money in his playoff run for sure. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably Goddard, depending on what he wants. I'd like to see back. Obviously, Jalen Phillips, but he's going to want a bag. And then you definitely got to sign that punter, Braden Mann. I mean, he should be,
He's a beast.
priority as well. So, Dean, I'd like to see back, but I don't know where you fit in with Campbell. So,
yeah, hard to say, but I think like Nolan's up too. Like Nolan will be up, depending on what you want to do with Carter and Dave. You might want to get them under contract as well. I mean, at least, what do you think, Davis or Carter? Who if you had to, I don't want to say pick one, but priority, would you say this offseason if you had to prioritize the other?
well, Davis and Carter are a year apart too, so you can potentially get both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, might stagger them a bit. And Carter
Right.
might want to hold out a bit. He might not want to sign this offseason.
If you can, you might want to give Davis whatever he's getting now and try to get Carter in the middle of the season on an extension. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
before he outplays himself.
Yeah, because he was kind of, I don't want to say it was a down year, but obviously, he was injured. He had the first game he was ejected, and just seemed like he never really clicked after that. I mean, he definitely made plays, but it just, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not sure.
We have all off season. All off season.
I did see we're gonna pick either 22 or 23 in the draft.
Okay.
So
Let's see.
potential there.
Yeah, a little higher pick than which we're lucky to say. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do in that draft? Offensive line?
Well,
I mean, I feel like you got to.
For sure. You're gonna at some point you're gonna have to draft Lane's replacement. So you got to look there, another tight end for sure. Safety. Starting corner.
Man, I feel like we went from, like, in a year, we went from, pretty solid roster to like having some pretty glaring holes.
Yeah, another edge if you lose Phillips. It really depends who you retain.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll let off. I don't think AJ is going to be back.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a major cap hit though. I don't know how they're going to work that out of there.
I have no idea. Well, what do you do?
We'll see.
You just keep the guy. I mean, I can't do I can't do another season of what we just went through with the. He's a mental case
for
man.
sure. Yeah. And it's just effort, If you're going to be a fucking diva, then catch the fucking ball. You know what I mean? If you can be fucking whoever you want to be, as long as you're making fucking plays. But if you're not going to give fucking effort, and you all of a sudden now you got fucking bricks for hands and shit, dude, then it's I'm with you.
In the biggest moments,
I can't do it either.
Coach Yost,
at the point, yeah,
well,
just fucking through the end of the season, I couldn't even talk about it anymore. I was so fucking sick of it.
Dude, get ready for this off season, man. No, I hope when it does, I hope it's swift. I hope it's swift. I hope it's not cinematic. I hope they just rip the Band-Aid off. But like you said, that cap hit, I don't want to do it if it's going to cripple us and we're not going to get anything.
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to get a first rounder out of it. I'll tell you that.
Package him up, send him to the Raiders for some Max Crosby action.
No chance. They don't want that fucking bullshit.
Man, if without Tom Brady, you could almost coax them into it. Maybe Tom.
Yeah, they love receivers back then, especially if Al Davis was still alive.
D. Moss.
Yeah,
but I think
fucking Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, yeah, Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Tim Brown. Yeah, I think he was there most of his career though. So,
all right, man. Well, yeah, we wanted to keep this one short. Just wanted to touch on the changes, and give our 2 cents, man. Anything else on the Patullo firing or the team?
Yeah, I just figure, for the listeners, we'll be back whenever we probably hire somebody, and if we're not back by then, they don't hire somebody by the draft, then we'll be back at the draft.
If they don't hire anyone could you imagine not having anyone hired by the draft?
I mean, unless you want to do some for the rest of the year, on other teams and shit, the state of football here through the Super Bowl, maybe we'll punch in 1 or 2,
Yeah. I would like to keep some programming going for the listeners. So we'll work on it behind the scenes. Maybe we'll do some like pre-draft pods or, if there's any breaking news, but yeah.
Yeah. And if you stuck with us, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah. We're not going anywhere. Anywhere. So, but man, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. Go Birds.
Go. Oh wait, hold on. But before we leave, maybe turn it into a Phillies podcast. Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, Sixers too.
Yeah, Sixers. But yeah, the big news is, man, Suarez off to Boston. So no longer a Philly. That's gonna be a bummer, man. I always loved when you sit down on a nice Sunday afternoon and you got Suarez on the hump. It was always going to be a good day,
Yeah, I mean, you get to watch your twin pitching. You just kind of fucking think you just kind of feel like it's you out there.
Dude, I love that. I know, man. That hurts, dude. That hurts.
Yeah, dude.
My guy, man. I'll have to start morphing into Tawan Walker. All right, man. Let's get out of here, dude.
Yeah, man. Go Birds. Go Sixers, man.
Go Sixers.